Rodgers and the Packers. Did you get to watch that game or no?
I was on Red Zone. It was on Red Zone, so I didn't like watch play by play. But man, Aaron Rodgers sucks. That was awesome.
So my first question to you would be: has Rodgers finally hit that wall, or is it one of those instances where he's going to go, relax, guys, it's one game and we can pick it back up? What do you?
I don't know. I don't know
think?
if relax guy is back. He was contemplating retirement in the offseason, so I don't know if relaxed guy is back. Like if he can, the relaxed guy, that was 2017 Rodgers, man. That was like some legit Rodgers right there. And this Rodgers, I don't know, man. He just doesn't look like, he looks like he was overwhelmed, confused, lost, slow, and I don't think it had anything to do with his team, bro. Aaron Jones played well. The offensive line wasn't that bad. Rodgers couldn't make up his mind down his progressions. He just would kind of just hold the ball and wait for the perfect throw, and it never came, and he never made the right throw, and it just wasn't good. I don't know if it's a situation where he needs to, like, he didn't have a good offseason, obviously, so he needs to work his way into it. But if that's the case, I'm looking at it like, bro, I don't need you, Rodgers. Trade his ass. If you're really gonna come at me like, oh, I'm not gonna play well, put Jordan Love in there. Who cares? Like, I'm just saying, I don't think Rodgers is all that anymore.
See, you kind of, me and you are kind of in agreement on one thing, that it was not for lack of time. The O-line was serviceable in that game. They were more than serviceable. That was Rodgers holding on to the football way too long, and also being gun shy to pull the trigger when he needed to.
Val is probably right. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I agree. Rodgers, he didn't pull the trigger. He probably will have a better week next week, I would imagine. I don't think he's totally done, but I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback anymore. He was on the top 100. I think last year, everything was clicking on all cylinders. I think that Rodgers really believed, in his heart of hearts, believed last year that they would win the Super Bowl. I think he believed that they had everything. And I think that this year now, he's just demoralized. I think he's just beyond, like, demoralized, and he doesn't actually, he doesn't have that fire anymore, man. He doesn't have the fire that he had last year. Once that one play where basically Matt LaFleur trusted the defense over Rodgers. Ever since that play, dude, I think he's checked out. He's been like, you know what, dude, screw this. And he is a diva. Val Howell said in the chat, he said he'll probably go off next week and ESPN will eat it up because he loves the attention. I can totally see that. His mood swings. He'll probably be in a great mood next week. Everything will be perfect. And all of a sudden, bam, like they play really well. So, but if I'm the Packers, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore.
He's been a diva forever, though. Let's be. It's not like his attitude has changed. They just kind of put up with it there in Green Bay because of his skill set.
Yeah, exactly. He really thought last year was the year. He thought it was the MVP, Super Bowl MVP season, and this year, it didn't work out. And I don't know if it will.
Tom Brady said, "No Super Bowl for you.
No Super Bowl for you. No soup for you. No Super Bowl for you." He was the MVP last year. Yeah, exactly. And he thought he would win. He felt like he would win it all. Oops. Come on, get back in there.
Oh, camera cut out.
Okay. Start back up.
All right. So, last topic of the podcast before we take fan questions, JD. Let's talk about the Saints and their dominant win. The defense, the offense. Jameis Winston with 5 touchdowns. Let's talk about that for a second. What were your thoughts on old crab legs there and his performance?
He was locked in. And the thing is, and what I love about it the most, my favorite thing is, because I have Alvin Kamara on fantasy, my favorite thing is the game plan for the Saints is literally just Alvin Kamara everything. Just here Alvin, every single play. And I think that Winston, he took it because what they're doing right now is really good. And I saw Drew Brees talk about it. That's a Super Bowl contending team. I'm gonna say it right now. Is Goose here? Your team, Super Bowl. It's possible. There's one reason why. When Jameis is locked in and he has a great running game and he has a play action where the guy's wide open, Jameis is great. The reason why Jameis had all those wide open passes is because Alvin Kamara and the offensive line was just feasting.
Was absolutely torching that defense, yeah.
150 yards and only 5 touchdowns. So literally he never threw the ball unless it was in the end zone pretty much. Like it was like maybe 3 or 4 throws besides that.
He only threw it 20 times. He went 14 for 20 for 150 and 5 touchdowns.
So 1/4 of his throws were in the end zone, man. So that tells me right there, or yeah, Tony Jones for sure. Well, that run game is what I'm saying is amazing. So they don't need at all to use Jameis at all. They don't need to rely on him. The Bucs were like, all right, we're gonna give Jameis the ball, let him throw us to victory. And Jameis actually wasn't that bad. He threw for 5,000 yards. Problem is, he'd also throw for 3 picks a game. So it wasn't good. But what Sean Payton's doing is saying, all right, dude, I want to use what you're good at and take away what you're bad at. I'm not going to let you just throw 50 times a game and throw 3 interceptions. I'm going to run the ball 30 times a game, throw it where you're comfortable throwing it, and we're going to get it done. I think this is Sean Payton's just handiwork, and that makes them a Super Bowl contender. The last thing I'll say is Drew Brees talked about it on NBA. Did you see that?
Yeah, they did ask him about it. Yes.
And he was just joking. He's just like, yeah, the over-the-top game is finally back in New Orleans. And he jokes about it. I'm just like, that's great. You can joke about that. It's true. I mean, his arm was deteriorating.
Well, I think the bigger surprise was the defense.
Oh, God, they were incredible.
The Saints' defense was
incredible.
That much. Great.
Against Rodgers, they made him look like shit. They made him look like dog shit. So,
they did. I think the bigger... granted, Jameis Winston performed well, and they called a great game for, hit on it. They called a great game for Jameis, where they didn't put him into situations where it was throwing balls that he felt comfortable with, and in places on the field where he could throw it accurately. They put him in the best shape to succeed.
Yeah, they did. They used the strengths and they maximized everyone else on the team. I think that's what they did. They really, everyone played on all cylinders. And I wonder a little bit, and I hate saying this because I would never really think this in a million years if I didn't just see that performance. I wonder if Drew Brees held them back a little bit last year. I wonder if he held this team back just a tad.
Well, there was probably some loyalty there, loyalty there for what Drew meant to the team, to the organization, to the city. I don't know if I'd say it held him back, but there was definitely some loyalty there where I think they felt that they wanted Drew to leave on his terms and they didn't want to force him out they wanted him to go his way.
He deserves that. It's respect.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I say about the Saints. But their defense against Rodgers was phenomenal. Their usage of, like you said, Jameis Winston's strengths, throwing it to the spots on the field where he felt comfortable with, taking the shots down the field when he felt ready and comfortable to do it. I think they managed him very, very well in that game. And the play calling for New Orleans, I thought, was great.
Well, what's amazing about that is, and the reason why I say this is a Super Bowl contending team, is because really all you need is to become a Super Bowl team, right? You need just to become like a multi-dimensional team, right? Like offensively and defensively. And defensively, they're phenomenal, so that you don't need to worry about that. But offensively, they have Winston over the top. They have a few good plays that Winston can execute. And they have an Alvin Kamara and Jones and have a strong offensive line. So when you have all those things going for you, you can't just game plan for Alvin Kamara. You can't just game plan for Winston either. So if you can't cover, you have to cover over the top and the front now. And I think Sean Payton has executed this perfectly. He realizes what he has, and he's maximizing its potential. And that's why I can see it going all the way. Now,
the chat brought up a good point. I think we forget that Aaron Rodgers participated in no off-season things for the Packers whatsoever.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, I blame him for that. Yeah,
and it clearly, I mean, obviously in the game, obviously it clearly showed that he, and then you combine that with his like smug attitude, and it doesn't make for good. Like that was never going to end well.
He said something on the Pat McAfee show that was very telling. He said, a guy of my stature, and then he alluded to the Hall of Fame in the future. So I think that Rodgers is done with football. I really do. I don't think I think that mentally he's done with football. I think that when LaFleur screwed him over last year, that was him literally. He pushed it aside, and now when he's trying to bring it back, it's not the same mentally. Physically, he may have all the same gifts, but I don't know, man. 3 collarbone surgeries. I don't know, man. We'll see.
He does that though. Like that's been his MO forever. Like let's be honest. He's just a guy. Let's be honest, JD. He's just a prick. Like the guy's just a prick. He is.
I'm a Bears fan. I agree.
That's just his mentality. He's just a prick. Like he don't care about anybody but himself. Like seriously, it's just how he is. He's always been like that.
I kind of agree. I wouldn't want him as my quarterback right now. I just wouldn't.
He's too selfish.
He's toxic. He's very talented, but he's toxic. And you really have to. They were all locked in last year, man. And Tom Brady just took a crap on their parade, man. That's what it was. They were ready for it last year. That was it. That was the year. And now it's just all come crashing down, I think. And I think it's sad because they do have all the same talent. But I think that his mentality, I wonder if they would have been better off if he would have just retired. I wonder. I'm curious about that. Like, would they be better off if
we have to give it up to the new GM?
If he would have retired and it would have been Jordan Love, do you think there would have been any difference in that game?
I did say the same thing about